Good afternoon, grade 7s. How are you today? Welcome to another lesson for social sciences. I hope you are okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the lesson. Hey, are you okay? Hello, Kanyi. You are few today. Others are late. Okay, so let's begin our lesson. Hello, Molly. How are you? I'm good. I can see people are late today. Where are the others? So I can see people are coming in. I can see BNS. Hello, grade 7s. Boy Pillow, hello. I was just wondering where people are. Menes, how are you? I'm good, Boy Pillow, and yourself? Okay, so without wasting time, let's proceed. I welcome you all. Okay, did you do my homework, grade 7s? The one that I gave you yesterday, did you do my homework? Did you do your homework? Oh, other people are still coming in, okay. Those who have just arrived, hello. Did you do my homework? Grade 7s? Do I have anyone in class? Did you do your homework? Do you have your answers with you? Oh, that's good, Molly. Let's revise what you wrote. So for question number 1, we're supposed to define those words. Let's revise the homework together. A, what is a developing country? What is a developing country? What did you write? What are your answers? What is a developing country? What is a developing country? From Molly, I can see your answer, a poor agriculture country that is seeking to become more advanced economically and socially. Okay, that's very good, Molly. You did your homework. Keep it up. Others, what are your answers for developing country? Boy Pillow, a poor country seeking to become advanced. Very good. Others? Others, what are your answers? Yes, you can send privately, Boypil. You can send privately. It's also fine. Okay. What about B? What is a developed country? What is a developed country? It is an industrialized country or more economically developed country. Kani, that's very good. What is a developed country? And then C, you can type your answers for C. Birth rate. What is birth rate? A mature and sophisticated country. Oh, Boypilo, okay. And then C, I'm waiting for C, birth rate. From Molly, the number of live births per thousand of population per year. That's very good. And what is death rate? D, death rate. From Kanyi, I can see your answers, the number of births per thousand of population per year. That's very good, Kanyi. And what is death rate? Angelina, I can see, yeah, your network. You're just coming in and going. It's fine. We are just revising the homework. We are doing question D now, 1D. What is death rate? From Kanye, the ratio of deaths to the population, usually the number of deaths per thousand in a year. That's very good. Molly, the ratio of death to the population of a particular area during a particular period of time. Very good. Boypilo, same answer, the ratio of deaths to the population of a particular area or period of time. Very good. And then we go to E. What is population? What is population? From Kanye, all the inhabitants of a particular place. That's very good. Angelina, the number of deaths in a particular population. Correct. Molly, the amount of people in an area. Not amount, the number of people in an area. Boipilo, number of people in an area, that's very good. And then F, what is infant mortality rate? Infant mortality rate, also known as IMR. From Kanye, the death of children under the age of 1. That's very good. Kanye? What is infant mortality rate? Others? So it is the death of children under the age. From Angelina, it is the death of young children under the age of 1. That's good. And then G, what is life expectancy? What is life expectancy? From Boipil, I can see your answer, the death of children under the age of 1 year. For F, that's correct. And then what is life expectancy? From September, the age of people? Not really the answer that I wanted. From Molly, the average period that a person may expect to live. Okay. The number of days expected to live. Number of years. Okay, Boipilo. It is the estimation of how long people will live for because of some of circumstances, like poor nutrition or economical problems. From Kanye. That's very good, Kanye. So it's simply the number of years people are expected to live in a particular area. And then number 2, briefly explain how IMR and LE differs for developing and developed countries. How did you answer that question? Number 2. How did you answer question 2? Did you answer question 2? Explain how IMR and LE differs for developing and developed countries. From Boipilo, poor countries are expected to have LE that is short and IMR that is high, unlike developed countries. That's very good. Boipilo, good answer. Good answer, Boipilo. Others, can I see your answers? How did you answer that question? From Kanye, where there is low IMR and LE in developed countries, because they are good quality of good economic, good nutrition, etc. But developing ones like Africa have high IMR and LE because they have bad nutrition. Kanye, LE Do you know the meaning of LA, life expectancy? Are you saying that people in developed countries have the lowest life expectancy? They don't grow old. It's the opposite. For IMR, your answers are correct. Do you understand? Kanye, your IMR answers are correct. Because in developed countries, they've got low IMR. And it's the opposite for developing countries. From Angelina, LE for developing countries, about 60 years. Okay. All right. So I'll see your answers as they come in. Well done to those who did their homework. Keep it up, eh? All right. So just a recap on what we did yesterday. We started the new topic for population concepts. So we looked at birth rates, death rates, population growth rates, the infant mortality rates, and we also looked at the life expectancy. All right, that's what we did yesterday. For today, we are going to look at factors affecting birth and death rates. We are going to look at the number one factor, diseases and pandemics. You know what diseases are and pandemics, so we're going to look at that. So they affect what? Birth rate and death rate. But how? Let's start by looking at diseases. Widespread diseases such as HIV/AIDS, TB, malaria, and diarrhea affect birth and death rate. You know, when diseases, they infect people, what happens? People will die. Let's start by looking at HIV and AIDS. This is a virus that destroys people's immune systems. When fully developed, it becomes AIDS. HIV and AIDS infections keep on increasing around the world. Therefore, the death rate also increases, whereas the life expectancy decreases. So as we all know about HIV and AIDS, how it is affecting people around the world, all countries in the world have got a challenge with HIV and AIDS. So what happens to the death rate? It increases. Many people, they die because of this HIV and AIDS. Therefore, fewer people get old because they die at a young age. So life expectancy decreases. Okay. So that is how HIV and AIDS affects death rate. And then we look at TB, tuberculosis. We are all aware of TB. It is an infectious airborne disease that affects the lungs. TB causes many deaths around the world. So TB is another disease that is affecting what? Death rate. The following risk factors cause TB to increase. A, we've got HIV and AIDS. Remember, infected people, those who are infected with HIV and AIDS, they cannot fight TB. Why? Because their immune systems are weak. Sorry about this, are weak with an A. So people who are infected with HIV and AIDS, it's easy for them to get what? TB, which is a problem, a challenge, because they end up dying. B, overcrowding. Now, TB likes places where there are overcrowded people, because it can easily spread when people are overcrowded. Malnutrition, lack of healthy food. So imagine if you are not getting proper healthy food, proper nutrition, when you get infected by TB, your immune system it's weak because you're not getting enough healthy food. So you can die because of TB, because they're not receiving proper nutrition. So all these factors, they're called risk factors, because they cause TB to increase. So we've got HIV and AIDS, overcrowding, malnutrition. So this TB also affects death rate. People die around the world. Okay, so that was our disease number 2. Let's look at malaria. Malaria is a problematic disease, especially in the sub-Saharan countries in Africa. It is a parasitic disease transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito. It causes many deaths around the world, especially younger children under the age of 5. Sub-Saharan countries are highly infected. Malaria causes high death rate. This also affects the economy because of decreased productivity. So when people, they get infected by this disease, malaria, some of them, they can't go to work. Some, they can't go to school. So this affects what? The economy of the country, because there's no production that is happening. So malaria also is a big problem because it affects the death rate. Many people, they die, especially the children under the age of 5. All right. So that was disease number 3. And then we look at diarrhea. Diarrhea, I'm sure you know about diarrhea. So it is caused by an infection in the stomach or intestines, which results in dehydration. So when you've got a running stomach for a long time, it becomes what? Diarrhea. It can quickly cause death if not treated. It is the most common cause of infant death around the world. So many babies, they die because of diarrhea. So what are the factors that cause diarrhea? The most important factor, inadequate sanitation. Sanitation. Proper sewage systems. If a particular area does not have proper sanitation, it will result in diarrhea. Poor hygiene practices. When you don't wash your hands regularly, you have to wash your hands, especially before you eat or after visiting the toilet. So those are poor hygiene practices. They also cause what? Diarrhea. Also, drinking unclean water, especially in Africa, some countries in Africa, they don't have clean water. They go to the rivers and fetch water. Imagine going to the rivers, and the water is unclean. From there, they get the germs, and then they get diarrhea. So it is a problem in most African countries. which affects what? The death rate, because many people, they die because of this diarrhea. Okay. So these are the factors that cause diarrhea: inadequate sanitation, poor hygiene practices, and unclean water. Okay. So we're looking at diseases, and then we look at pandemics. These are huge diseases or massive. Okay. And they are bigger than the general diseases that we know. A pandemic is a disease spread all over the country or world. It causes many deaths around the world. So we're going to look at examples of pandemics. There was this pandemic called the Black Death. It happened in history, long back in ancient history. It was called the Black Death. This was the deadliest pandemic ever recorded in history, which caused about 200 million deaths in Europe and Asia. It was spread by infected fleas on rodents to humans. So this disease, this pandemic, you know, the rodents, the rats. So these rats, they were infected with fleas. You know fleas? So remember, rats, they also like to live where people live. So when they get into the houses, they were also infecting what? The humans. So that is how the Black Death spread it. And it killed many people. It was a pandemic, about 200 million deaths in Europe and Asia. Okay. And then there was smallpox at the Cape, in Cape Town, at the Cape, back then. This disease affected people in the Cape area in 1713. It was also a pandemic. It was brought by a crew on a Dutch ship from the east. It affected the colonists and the Khoisan people in the area. It destroyed huge numbers of indigenous Africans, which affected the population growth of that time. So this smallpox, I want you to research later after the lesson, what is smallpox? What kind of a disease is that? So this smallpox, it came with people from the Netherlands, the Dutch people. So it was brought by a crew. They were infected already. And then when they arrived in the Cape area in 1713, they affected the colonists who were there already and the Khoisan people. And many people, they died in the Cape area in 1713, which meant that the population growth rate, it decreased. The death rate also increased. Okay. So this is our second pandemic. We looked at the death, the Black Death, and then the smallpox at the Cape. And then COVID-19. We already know about Corona, COVID. We always hear about it. It's affecting us now, our generation. It stands for coronavirus disease. It is linked with severe acute respiratory syndrome, the SARS viruses. So it's part of the viruses of SARS. Okay. It is spread through respiratory droplets, being in contact with infected people, objects, or surfaces. It is causing more deaths around the world. Older people and people with weaker immune systems are the most vulnerable. So generally, older people are being affected. And those people with weaker immune systems, such as people with HIV and AIDS, and TB. So COVID-19, it's a pandemic. It's killing many people every day, and the numbers are increasing. That's why we're always told that we should sanitize, practice social distancing, stay indoors, okay, so that the disease does not spread too much, okay? I hope you're also practicing that when you're at home. Stay indoors, sanitize, okay, so that you'll be safe. So those are the pandemics that we looked at today, all right? So those, they affect what? Birth rate and death rate. So it means birth rate will decrease. Death rate will increase because of these diseases, because of these pandemics. Okay, grade 7. All right. So we are done with our lesson. I hope you learned something. This is your homework. I'm impressed, grade 7. You are doing your homework. Keep it up. So this is your homework. Only those 3 questions, okay? Indicate for me when you're done copying. Are you done? It's up to you, Molly. As long as you write the homework, whether you take a picture or you copy the questions. Okay, thank you, JC, Molly, done. Others, are you done? Oh, Angelina, oh, that's good. You have never left the house. You should be safe, eh? Stay indoors. Even me, I'm scared to move around outside. I stay indoors just to be safe. So you should do the same also. Otherwise, this corona, oh, it's very bad. So stay indoors, okay? Oh, I do go to the shops, but I'm scared though. I wear my mask and then I go to the shops. I buy my food. But besides that, I'm always indoors. Molly, I saw your question about the tests. I think they will send this week. I'm not sure when. Yes, Kanye, you must always wear masks and gloves, especially when you are going outside, just to be safe. And you sanitize when you come back. Yes, always sanitize. Okay. So it was nice having you, grade 7s, today. Please take care and be safe. Okay. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Bye.